Sunday, Greater Covenant Cathedral was filled with people, music, power, and expectation. The services were polished. The choir knew when to sing. The congregation knew when to stand. Somewhere between honor and idolatry, the pulpit became a throne. Offerings were pressured. Titles were rewarded. Questions were called rebellion. The members knew their bishop's expectations, but many had never learned how to recognize the voice of Christ. But when truth entered the sanctuary, the music could no longer tell the people how to feel. Now he must choose between protecting his position and surrendering his life to Christ. A redemptive Christian novel about church hurt, inherited religion, spiritual manipulation, accountability, discipleship, and genuine repentance. When honor becomes idolatry, loyalty becomes bondage, and the pulpit becomes a throne, who will point the people back to Christ, past their religion? When the pulpit became a throne. A novel by Stephanie M. Seaton. Coming September 1st, 2026. 2027 Keeping It All Together. Becoming Who God Called Me to Be Conference. Saturday, February 27, 2027. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Ujima Socials, Dallas, Texas. This is more than an event. This is a divine gathering for women who are ready to heal, grow, be encouraged, and walk boldly in purpose. This powerful day will include dynamic speakers, a keynote message from visionary Stephanie M. Seaton, vendors, catered lunch, raffles, self-care, intimacy with the Lord, and a life-changing panel discussion. Get your tickets now.
Well, hello, and welcome to another amazing episode of the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show. I'm so happy that you have tuned in with us tonight. Tonight, we have amazing lady. I have had the pleasure of knowing her. We're probably close to a year now. I want to say maybe close to a year now. We have the amazing Natalie Clark in the studio tonight. Can y'all give it up for Natalie? How are you, Miss Natalie?
I am doing great. Thank you so much for having me on. And how are you?
I'm doing good. I know that we're some crazy busy people. So this is a miracle tonight in itself, right?
It was planned. Yeah. So it's all good.
Yeah. Listen, I'm so happy to have Miss Natalie here tonight. I have had the pleasure of being a part of her sisterhood circle of DFW, and I've been able to come to her events. I'm a part of the Hey Sis community, and it's really taken me out of my comfort zone to be able to go to an event where in the beginning I knew nobody. Stepping outside of my comfort zone, going to an event where I knew nobody other than Natalie through social media, and getting there and finding myself feeling so welcomed and actually a part of something so amazing. So I really think she is doing such an amazing job with the things she's got going on. Tonight, we are going to talk about all things Natalie Clark. And listen, this young lady right here has got some amazing things going on. So listen, go ahead and like, tag, share, subscribe. Go ahead and do all of the things to make sure that you don't miss anything on this episode tonight. Okay. So listen, Miss Natalie, I'm going to tell you the very first question that I ask all of my guests is, please tell us tonight, who is Natalie Clark?
Well, Natalie Clark is a dreamer. Natalie Clark is a doer. I truly believe that we all have purposes and we have passions. And so if it is something that I want to do, I am going to set my mind to do it. I'm going to do it. And so with that being said, I love being able to encourage everyone else to do the same. That's where the mentorship comes in at. That's where the speaking comes in at. I always say you never know where you can go if you don't actually put yourself out there and start to just doing it. So that's
Love it.
who Natalie Clark is, a dreamer, a doer, a believer, and definitely a connector.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And that's what it starts with, a dream, right? And then just actually following through. I think a lot of times, Natalie, and you tell me if you agree, a lot of times, so many of us have these dreams of, the what ifs and, the possibilities, but we don't actually take those steps. Would you agree with that?
Oh, I agree. I
Yeah.
definitely agree.
Yeah. So you've got so many amazing things going on tonight. I want to kind of touch on all of them because I really feel like this is going to be encouraging to the person that's kind of standing on the sideline saying, well, I kind of want to do this. Maybe I should do that, but not taking those steps. For you, a woman who pretty much has a passion for many things and you put it to work. I mean, you create the environment, you create the system that you want to operate in. And I think that is an amazing thing. Let's start off talking about your I Am Strong Foundation, because that's kind of the umbrella of everything. Is that correct?
Right. It actually is. And so I've spent over 20 years in education. And as a parent, as an educator, we teach everybody else to chase their dreams. But when it
Mm,
comes to us,
yeah,
sometimes, we get to a point and we just feel like I'm comfortable. I've gotten the degree, I've gotten the certificate, I have the job, I have the family, I have the house, whatever it
yeah,
is. And you feel like that's it. And
mm,
so I wanted to do something a little bit different. And so I really sat with myself and I prayed in the beginning and just asked God to really show me what was it that he truly had for me outside of all those other titles as educator, mom,
yeah,
family member, friend, and all of those things. And what was it for me? And so God showed me that word strong. And, for me, I like for things to stand for something.
yeah,
And spending so many years in education, taking the time to really pour back into the youth, it's always just going to be a part of what I do. And
yeah,
so God gave me strong was for I am striving to reach our next generation. And so everything that I do, whether I'm working with the youth, whether I'm working with people in the community or
yeah,
interacting with women, it's an example for our youth to be able to see that we can come together. It's an example for our youth to see you never know who you may need. And
yeah.
to also see that regardless of where you come from, you deserve to take up space and you deserve to chase your dreams. And so that's how I Am Strong really all came about.
Okay. Wow. That's amazing. And how long have you had the I Am Strong Foundation?
So in October, I will be celebrating 5 years for I Am Strong, starting. And so I'm really excited about that,
Yeah.
because we can all start something
Yeah.
and it could start off great or it could start off rough. And whatever the case may be, it's up to us to continue going, even through those different seasons of challenges and the seasons of celebrations,
Yeah.
because it's something that you truly feel that you've been called to do and you're
Yeah.
passionate about it.
You said something earlier. You were talking about being in education for over 20 years.
Yeah.
What is your age group?
So I have spent all this time in middle school. I also spent a portion of my education career serving as a specialist where I work with adults.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Very good. And middle school is very critical years. Those are some very critical years. I saw on your social media that you had was it a camp or a workshop for like a science fair or was it a workshop?
I wasn't, well, I've always just been passionate about hosting my own camp. So I
Yeah.
have a mentorship program for girls that I am also going into year 5 in September with that. But I
Right.
wanted to host a camp for kids who particularly had an interest in science. I've loved science. I've always loved science. And so, we can say that we want to do something, but actually doing it is something
Yeah.
else. So it was 4 years ago, actually. 4 years
Okay.
ago, I was like, you know what? I am going to do this camp. And with me doing that, I was the instructor, I was the facilitator, I planned
Yeah.
it all, interacted with the kids. It's not something that I won't say I won't do again, because I thoroughly enjoyed it. But when you have a lot of things going on, you also pray for God to be able to send you people that really want to work alongside of you, who also are passionate about pouring into the youth and being a part of it. So you never know. It may be coming back. We'll see.
I love it. I love it. Let's talk about Sisterhood Circle of DFW. Now, I'm a part of several groups, and I don't really participate in a lot of the groups that I'm in. Some of them are, just specific things, but the Sisterhood Circle, listen, you keep that group thumping. I don't know if thumping is the word to say, but listen, you constantly have something amazing going on. You can be a married woman, you can be a single woman, you can travel to Denver for the weekend, you can go to Cancun, you can go to a Rangers game. Listen, the Sisterhood Circle of DFW has something for all the women that want to get out and do something. I think that you're doing something so amazing, and it's always affordable. I want to say
Thank you.
that it's always affordable. And you let people know ahead of time what's going on, so you can kind of plan around it. Um, how did this come about? I mean, it's something that you know it's it keeps you going personally, but you are providing an out. You're providing an opportunity for so many women that probably would just stay in the house behind the four walls, right? But you've given us something to do. How did it come about?
Well, honestly, again, going back to being a career person, a parent, a family member, we pour a lot into everybody else. And
Yeah,
sometimes we don't pour into ourselves.
yeah,
So many people are transplanted. They're living in cities and in states where they didn't grow up. Maybe their job took them there, or other opportunities took them there. And
yeah,
so they're very hesitant to get out and meet people,
yeah,
because they're like, you know what? I'm here for work. I go to church. I'm at home. That's it. But you know what? Jobs come and go. Those kids are going to grow up. Situations are going to change. And either we can sit and stay still and talk about what we want to do, or we can get out there. We can look for opportunities to be able to do it. Everybody thinks that I'm originally from DFW, but I'm actually not. I'm
yeah.
originally from East Texas, as you know, and
Yes.
I moved here, right after college. And as much as everybody thinks I'm an introvert, I'm an extrovert all the time, I actually also enjoy my time by myself. And so I get it when people are kind of loners. I get it when people have their guard up. I get all of that. And so just even as I've been here, in the DFW over the last 20 something years, I have met people through church. I've met people through work, and there's always people that they are your colleagues, or there are people that you are around, and there are people that actually become like family. They become real, genuine friends. And so I would always just invite people to do something. But as I started I Am Strong, I wanted to really have programs that focused on a diverse group of people, whether that was youth, people in the
Yeah.
community, and just women. And as I said, women struggle with so many things, sometimes mom guilt. I'm doing all the things for my kid, I want to make sure they're good, but then there are so many things that they want to do. And so that's how the Sisterhood Circle of DFW came about. I actually spent over a year privately behind the scenes curating spaces for women to be able to bring them together. And I will post it on social media. nobody really knew how all that was happening, because when you're intentional about building something genuine, it's not for show. It's not for something
Yeah.
for people to just come and be a part of.
Mm.
There's the fact of you being very intentional behind it, because
Right.
you want it to necessarily really be a safe space. So when women come, I
Yeah.
want them to not just get cute, show up, and I went to this event. I want them to do that, yes, but I want them to come to that event and really feel like, wow, this was incredible. This was warm. This was welcoming. I
Yeah.
really met some ladies tonight that I look forward to staying in contact with, and I look forward to supporting. So it warms my heart, which, allows me to be that connector. I'm meeting thousands and thousands of women, even outside of DFW. So I'm not going to always be involved in all the things, but just to create a space where women can come out, meet other people, find business leads, find friends, and carry on that relationship, beyond that moment, is
Right.
exactly what a sisterhood is supposed to be. And it's exactly what community is supposed to be about. Because guess what? God has something for all of us. And what, strengths and gifts that someone else may have, we have to just realize that, what? I'm really fully operating my gift to set up these spaces and these opportunities for women to come out and be empowered, while leaving with sisters that they didn't even know existed, had they not stepped outside their comfort zone and showed up.
Yeah. That's amazing. And you are doing just that. For those of you that are just
Thank you.
tuning in, listen, we are talking to the amazing Natalie Clark tonight. Natalie Clark is a community builder, mentor, entrepreneur, dedicated to creating spaces where women can connect, collaborate, and thrive. As she just stated a few minutes ago, through growing women's communities, she has impacted the lives of thousands of women, predominantly professional women, networking and creating these spaces. I've had the opportunity to attend several of Natalie's events. I even had the opportunity to take my mom. We went to the mother daughter tea in May for Mother's Day, and my mom, we loved it. So many activities, and it was just an amazing experience. So I strongly recommend, if you're an intentional woman that wants to, and you're a nice girl, let me say that.
Yes.
If you are a entrepreneur woman, a professional woman, and you want to have community and a safe space, then I definitely recommend you join the Sisterhood Circle of DFW. Let's talk about this new thing you've got going, Miss Natalie. So you are a wine consultant. And I'm going to show the link here for all of you that are wine connoisseurs. Miss Natalie is a part of Scout and Cellar Wine. And kind of tell us how this came about and how people can get in touch with you.
Yes, again, it's just about, you never know what can happen. And so you start one thing, and I'm focused on being a community connector, community builder. And as I'm focused on creating spaces for other women, opportunities are also being created and being available to me. And that's kind of how this all happened. So I'm a brand ambassador for a few brands. And a couple of years ago, I was in a brand photo shoot, and one of the executives from Scout and Cellar was also a part of that photo shoot. And she, 2 years later, was building her team, decided to reach out, invite me to just an opportunity to be a part of the team. I don't say yes to everything. And so if it aligns, it aligns. I am curating spaces for these women. I believe in classy. I believe in drama free. I believe in experiences. And who doesn't love a nice glass of wine every now and then? And then it's zero sugar, free of additives and preservatives. So it's actually very good for you, especially for the people that are really being mindful of eating clean. And it leaves you without a headache. Every type of wine that you think of, it's actually in the brand. And the best part, it can be shipped to you. If somebody's wanting to purchase the wine, they can definitely click the link that you are sharing. They can use the code TryScout25 and receive $25 off their first order of 4 bottles. And the wine is shipped directly to your house. So I say we're living a life of luxury. And so if we're living a life of luxury and nice things, instead of going grabbing wine off the shelf, let's get the wine that is crafted straight from organic grapes to the glass directly to you.
Love it. I love it. Love it. Let me ask you, Natalie, what inspired you to create this community of combining, say, the wine and the outings? And was it all about just the field, or just was it part of the relaxation? Like, what made you decide to combine the two?
Well, I combine the two because, one of the things at the forefront of everything that I do is community.
Yeah.
And so within the community, what I tell people, I wanted to really create a community where in that community, there's a little bit of everything. There are women that are professional from different backgrounds of life. And if you're coming out, you're engaging, you're interacting, you're going to start building relationships with those people. And so that's what I wanted, like a community hub where you could go to that community hub and get what you need. The wine was just an extra added benefit. But what I was really thinking of, if somebody's needing a realtor, there are people that, there are a lot of realtors, but the ones that I've actually connected with, I've actually built a genuine relationship. They're going to be the ones that are referred. People are needing lawyers. People are needing doctors. People are needing, childcare services. People are needing speakers. They're needing coaches. And several people can be doing the same thing, but when you actually build that relationship with that person within your community and you see that person for really who they are and what they have to offer, whether that's some other woman that's reaching out to me that's saying, you know what, can you recommend a good attorney for me? I've done that on several occasions. Can you recommend, whatever the case may be, there are things that I need. So whether I'm working on an upcoming project or something for business, there are a lot of people that I can go to. I can go to Chat GPT and I can look up stuff. But when I've actually met the person, built a relationship with the person, that's the person that I'm going to reach out to do business, whether it's an upcoming project, it's a product, working with me on something, whatever, because within a community, you genuinely support people. And that's where your referrals and your opportunities for growth really come from. So that's why this whole sisterhood community started.
I love it. I love it. Tell me, what has been the most rewarding success story that you have witnessed through your community?
Oh, wow. There's a couple, but well, I'm going to share one from with you. Actually, when I came to Tyler in March, and so, I am from East Texas. And so, sometimes it's hard to, whether you're from East Texas, you're from Dallas, you're from Atlanta, wherever you're from, sometimes it's hard for your own people to really come out and support you because they know you, you're familiar. And that actually holds a lot of people back. So a lot of people actually don't step out and do things because they're so fearful of what the people that know them are truly going to think. And when you start something new, it's really a test of who your real friends are that you've known, who your real supporters are that you've known, because you think, you know what, I know that they're going to show up. And when I actually came to Tyler in March, I didn't grow up and didn't know anybody that was there. Pretty much 98% of the women in that room, I literally met for the very first time, including you. And so it was about 2 weeks ago. There was a lady that had reached out to me to purchase tickets for my next visit when I come to Longview. And so I ended up reaching out to her. I didn't really remember the name. It's so many people, sometimes I forget, but she said that she had a surgery And she said, I'm kind of down right now, recovering from my surgery. So I've been reading and I've been going through things. And I know that you're going to be, in back in East Texas in November. So I wanted to make sure I went ahead and grabbed the tickets. And she said, not only did I grab a ticket for me, I grabbed a ticket for a lady that I met there at that meetup. I just really want to thank you for what you're doing. I really didn't have anybody really out here, but since that day, we've built our relationship. She came over, brought her a care basket before her surgery, and they've just been really going strong since March. And that just made me feel so awesome, because it's not always about a turn up and going out and doing this. It's really about those things that happen behind the scene in moments when we really need someone, that sometimes our own family isn't there for us, but somebody that we've taken the opportunity to connect with. And I want to be very strategic in saying in this season of our lives, because as we go through different seasons, sometimes the people that are in it need to be in it, and sometimes the people that are in it are exited from us at that time, because we're in a new season. So when God takes you through different seasons, things change. And sometimes we don't always understand it. And sometimes it may be lonely and it may be scary. So the fact that she is in a different season and she decided to come to that meetup where she did not know anyone, and 4 months later, they're building a friendship, and she was there for her for that meant so much to me.
Yeah. I imagine, and I know for a fact, when you are in these spaces of community, and the sisterhood circle, you intentionally, you ask the questions, Natalie. You ask those questions that get us to telling all of our stuff, and we like it's like 5 seconds in, and a tear has fallen. And you're like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Like, listen, I just came to check this thing out, and I'm over here. But what advice would you give to a woman that's ready to step out of her comfort zone, and build a meaningful relationship? Like, what advice do you give to those women?
The advice that I would give to those women is to step out. And when you step out, come with an open mind. You don't have to tell everyone that you're going. You don't have to do any of that. You have to come and experience it for yourself. Because one thing about me, we gonna show up, we might shed a tear, we're gonna dance, we're gonna laugh, we're gonna eat, we're gonna connect, and you're gonna leave there feeling empowered. And empowered, I know it's one of your words, and I was smiling at the beginning because empowerment is one of my 3 words. When people ask me about I Am Strong and what was it built on, it's about empowerment. And I want that woman to feel empowered, that, when I came in here, I was hesitant, but when, what this was going to be like and what to really expect. But I'm so glad I showed up, and I'm so glad I came. And you know what? This inspires me to go write that book. This inspires me to get out and start meeting more people. This inspires me to start my own thing. This inspires me to embrace people that I haven't known before, to embrace them now, because guess what? These are the type of people that I have been looking for. And so if you stay at home, you keep talking about it, you keep thinking about it, but you don't put in the action, it'll be years down the road and you'll still be saying the same thing. And Natalie Clark's mindset is that I am not going to be 80 years old saying I wish I would have and I should have back then. The time is now. So the time is now to do whatever it is that you want to do, whether that's meet new friends, getting out, doing something different, whatever the case is, the time is now. So for that sister that's on the fence, she's scrolling, she's looking, whatever it is, just get out.
Yeah.
Just get out.
you and I have talked a lot about, building circles, being intentional with our connections, with our friendships. You actually kind of mentioned that tonight as well. From some of the other women that you've had, one-on-ones with, or that you came in contact with, what are some of the other challenges that women say that they have faced while trying to find their tribe? Like, what are some other examples that women have kind of talked to you about?
Well, and that's a great question that you asked because it's not always positive to every
Mhm.
single thing,
Yeah.
and some of the things that women have said to me is that, you know, I have had such a hard time with women in the past that I just don't really feel that comfortable. I don't do females. And every time somebody says I
I've
don't
heard
do
that.
females, it kind of hits me in the gut. It really does because it's really sad to be honest. It's
Yeah.
sad to say that, but I also respect it because it's coming from a place of hurt. I could
Yeah.
sit here and share I've had negative experiences myself, but it really boils down to not about the things that happen to you, but about the responses, whatever that may be, relationships, friendships, job, church, whatever. It's about your response to everything. And so, what we have to realize is that we have to give other people opportunity. These people that you are facing right now aren't the people that hurt you before. These
Hmm.
people that you're facing right now, you don't even have a history with them. And
That's
you're
right.
already counting yourself out of building something because of past experiences. Use discernment. Don't go in oversharing. Also, don't go in with a negative mindset like, we're going to see if this is really what they say, because you can already have that negative mindset and not even be open. And I'm
Yeah.
just a type of person, I'm an energy person. I can tell when somebody is totally feeling something, and I can tell when they're not, and I can tell when they're wanting something. But
Yeah.
nonetheless, you know, you still have to just put yourself out there. But I've had women also, they're business owners. I'm a business owner, you're a business owner. I'm
Mhm.
never going to just walk up to a person or attend an event and start rattling off every single thing that I do. And just to be honest with you, it's a pet peeve of mine when people walk up and they ask, so what do you do? You didn't even
Oh
say,
yeah.
hey, how are you? You
Yeah.
didn't even properly greet the person. So you were already more or less more concerned. What did this person do than
Yeah.
really who they are? And
Yeah.
that first impression lets you know if somebody's there to build something genuine or they're there to judge, criticize, see what they can get, or
What
all
they can
those
do.
different
Yeah.
things, and not even really getting to know you as a person. So if you're walking into the room, you also have to be the person on the other side that you want to meet. So if
That's
you're
right.
wanting to meet people that are genuine and giving you good energy, you can't go in there and not speak to anyone. All of this with people going into rooms, not speaking and doing all of that, and then
Yeah.
have the nerve to say nobody spoke to them. Well, you didn't speak either. You have to show that you are friendly. You have to show that
Yeah.
you're warm and inviting. If I go in a room and all eyes on me, if they're on me and it feels a lot, or if it's on me and it feels like there's great energy, I'm going to be me. I'm going to be me. But when I sense that that energy is off, I can still smile and I can shift and move myself around in that room with not killing my whole vibe, which is going to impact me from meeting other people if I let those experiences get to me. And so to the woman that's, been hurt, to the woman that, somebody has really abused your trust. Let's just be honest with you. Abused your trust, or you were there for them and she wasn't there for you. Just know that we have to go through those things also, just to be aware of. Sometimes people come disguised as one way, but we see that they are another way. And the best part about it is once you experience something, it's up to you to allow yourself to go through those things again. And so don't hold yourself short and hold yourself back from
Hmm.
opportunities. You don't know who's in that room that can help elevate your business, that can help
Hmm.
elevate you, or just be a friend to you. Your kids can become friends. You guys can refer each other. But if I'm
Hmm.
so caught on the fact that I don't really know her. I don't really know nobody. You miss so many opportunities. And
Yeah.
just to be honest, my mindset is whatever room God sends me in, it was to send me in there for something. I don't know what it is, but I'm
Yeah.
going in that room with an open mind, whether
Mm-hmm.
that's a partnership opportunity, a business opportunity, whatever the case may be. And just realize also, some of us have some amazing things going for us, but not everybody's going to be excited about it. Not everybody's going to clap for you. Be
Yeah.
mindful of how much you share. Be mindful of how much you give your
Mm.
attention, your time, your energy, and all of that. Because
Yeah.
sometimes being a giver is also hard because you can be misused because you really are a giver and you want to help people. Learning to say no and saying with a smile on your face and meaning it, but not being nasty about it, it's a level of growth and a level of maturity. And so, as grown women, as sisters, there's opportunities out here, and we can't let those past negative experiences keep us from really finding our tribe, moving forward, and living this thing called life.
I love it. You said there were so many amazing nuggets in what you said, and so much of it I can identify with myself. We've got several people chiming in. Hello, Miss Brenda. How are you tonight? We've got several people chiming in on the conversation tonight. And yeah, I piggyback off of all of that. You have to be the person that you want to see, coming into these spaces, open-minded, greeting, being nice and friendly, and not just going straight to the kill of wanting a service, you know,
Right.
uh, or using that terrible D word, discount. Um,
Yeah.
things of that sort. Um, I want to shift a little bit. I want to talk about something, I love books. I love writing books. I love reading books. That's kind of the author in me. And you have this book, Dare to Dream, a guided journal for confidence and success. Please hold your book up. Let's talk about your book. Dare to Dream, Guided Journal for Confidence and Success by Natalie Clark. Wow. Tell us how this came about and then tell us about the project.
Again, at the very beginning, you asked me who was Natalie Clark, and Natalie Clark has always been a dreamer. In our lives, I had a great childhood. I always like to say I had a good childhood, but even with that, you're surrounded by things that
Yeah.
still let you know that despite these circumstances right now, despite what may be happening at this moment, I
Yeah.
have these dreams of doing things. And a lot of
Yeah.
times people let their current situations or current circumstances keep them from chasing their dreams. And
Mhm.
so, I've talked about me being an educator. I talked about me being a parent. I was that parent that, I really wanted my children to live out their dreams. As
Mhm.
parents, you find that your children have gifts. You find that your children are great at things. And sometimes parents mess it up. I'm going to be honest. You start
Yeah.
saying, my child is going to be doing this, and my child is this, and they just like we go through changes, that child is going to go through changes as that child grows up. And the
That's
things that they were heavily interested in as they were young may shift and it may
yeah.
change as they get older. And we
That's right.
have to smile when they bring that to us and tell us that that's what they want to do. And so, with the mentorship with the girls and with the women that I mentor, I want them to know that every single one of us have some sort of dream and some kind of vision.
Yeah.
And that's great. But what are we doing to execute it?
There you go.
Because
Yeah.
that's the difference. What are we doing to execute it? Because
Yeah.
you could sit on something and you could sit on it for years to come and never do it. And you see somebody else do something similar, and then it reminds you, oh my gosh, I thought of that a long time ago, but you didn't
Mm.
do it. That
Yeah.
person is not any more talented or any more gifted than you are. The only thing is they were willing to take the risk
That's right.
beyond just a dream.
There
And
you go.
so I have so many things that I do want to write and that I want to put out there. And so I was like, you know what? And those things are going to happen. They're going to happen in due time. When it's time, they're going to happen. So I
Yeah.
wanted to start with a journal. And in the journal, I was very intentional about the things that I put in here. Right now, it says, what are my long-term goals? And how can I align them with my values and strengths? You have to know what your values and your strengths are in order to get to those long-term goals. One of my favorite things in here is your circle. And
Mhm.
so I like to talk about the power of five. And everybody, to me, should really have five people in your life, five genuine people in your life that are in your circle that they know you. And the amount of time does not really determine whether or not someone belongs in that circle or not.
Okay.
It's what they show you, it's their actions.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
say that, of course, you would like to have a biological family member that's in your circle, that's genuinely in your circle, whether you
Yeah.
need somebody to talk to cry with, pray with, laugh with,
Yeah.
celebrate. You need those people. Not, I don't want people in my circle. I hear people all the time say, I got this one friend, but I can't really tell her anything. Well, is she really a friend?
Yeah.
Because if I got to put people in all these different categories, if I'm
Mm.
coming down to my circle of the people that I really need and that I can depend on, as well as they know that I'm going to show up for them,
Right.
it's
Right.
something about writing it down and making it plain. And so
Yeah.
in this book, you can write down those five people. And if those five people, if you're sitting, you like, I can't even really think of two. But you're
Mm.
here and you're there and you're around all these different people and you showing up for everybody, but you really can't think of two people in your circle. You need to sit down. You need to reevaluate. You need to
Yeah.
get out here and network. You need to
Yeah.
pray. You need to discern. You need to do something different because you're
Yeah.
not aligned with people that really deserve to be in your circle in this season of your life. And so if I'm daring to dream, I'm
Yeah.
talking about being confident. I'm talking about being successful. It is sad that when you are a person that is very confident in who you are and very confident that you're doing what you're meant to do,
Yeah.
sometimes people frown on that.
Mm.
Sometimes they think you're doing too much, but actually they don't know your story. They
Right.
don't know that
Yeah.
you're really that confident because it's either something that you're born with or it's something that you have just arrived to over time because
Yeah.
of life's experiences. And you realize, you know what? I deserve to shine. I
That's right.
deserve to do this. These things that I've wanted to do, I didn't know all the things and I still don't, but I'm confident enough to know that if I put my mind to it, I'm
Yeah.
going to be able to do it. And
Yeah.
so that's what this journal is about. There's prompts in there that allow you to write, and allow you to really think because I really want you to sit with yourself and be confident in who you are and chase all of those dreams. One thing about me is if there was ever something presented to me that it was going to be a challenge, it was going to be hard, or how are you going to do it? But if my mind was set that I was going to do it, I'm going to do it.
Don't do it.
And so
Yeah.
that's what the journal's about.
I love it. I love it. And where can people find the journal?
Well, people can find the journal. Definitely, they can find it on the website. There's a digital copy. They can also purchase it on Amazon as well.
Okay. And I showed both of your links earlier. I'm going to put it up again. There's the I Am Strong Network link. And then this is the link for the wine that she was speaking about earlier so that she can, if you, and Natalie, do people have the ability to host some type of uh, wine event and have you come and do a presentation? Is that something that you could do with your business as well?
Oh yes, absolutely. I just did that this past weekend. So let's just say someone reaches out to me, so they can actually go to the website if they're wanting to reach out to me directly and
Okay.
contact me there. because you'll find my email, you'll find access to all the social media platforms and all of that. And so let's just say they wanted to chat with me about curating something for them, whether it's a wine list for wine that they already want for their event, or if
Okay.
they're actually wanting me to be present, we can chat and we could talk about the logistics of me being there and talking about the benefits of the wine. Also, just just hosting a wine tasting experience for the ladies as well, or corporate events, whatever it may be.
Love it. I love it. I love it. Listen, it has been amazing tonight talking to you about all things Natalie Clark. Regardless of what time you watch this interview, you can click in the comment section, and both of the links will be available for you to support Natalie, to see what she's got going on. Make sure that you go on to Amazon to check out her book, get your copy of the book. As we get ready to come to a close, I want to give you 3 words, Natalie. Healing, and I kind of feel like I know which one you're going to say, but healing, empowerment, transformation. Those are the 3 words that are about everything on this platform. Which one stands out the most to you, and tell us why?
Empowerment definitely stands out the most to me. Empower to me just really means that you really have the freedom to really do whatever it is that you put your mind to.
Yeah.
There are no limitations. There are endless possibilities if you really, really believe that you can do it. It's about stepping outside of your comfort zone. It's about seeking God first and asking Him, what
Yeah.
does He really have for you? And it's about you putting in the work to get it done. And sometimes it may mean that you're doing some things by yourself. But you
Mm,
know what? As you're doing those things by yourself, there's one thing that I'm going to really close with that I've said in the very beginning, and I still stand by. Regardless of who you are, how creative you are, and how talented you are, and how much of a dreamer you are.
yeah.
In the very beginning, my prayer was, God, if you will connect me with people with their
Mm,
influences and their abilities and their opportunities that they already have, to connect and be a blessing to me, to open doors that I didn't know existed,
yeah.
and just really allow me to fully operate in my gift, I'll be grateful. And so I still operate with that same prayer to this day, that God continues to put me in places with people that I can benefit from their abilities, their influences, and their resources, just as well as people being in my present and benefiting in the same way. Because just as we want to receive, we also have to give, to really truly be empowered
Yeah.
and empower others, and
Yeah.
really let us all walk freely in what God truly has for us.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Make sure that you support Natalie Clark. You can find Natalie Clark. I know you're on Facebook. Where else are you on? You on LinkedIn? To tell them all of your platforms that they can contact you, Natalie.
So I am on Facebook, Natalie Clark. I am on TikTok, Natalie Clark '07. And if you looked for me on Instagram, it's going to be um, I'm strong. So I am. And then there's an underscore and the word strong. But after each of the letters, there's a period, because strong is an acronym, striving to reach our next generation. You're going to see this lady in this bright pink suit in the profile on Instagram, and that's me. Um, and then, I always kind of collaborate with my other Instagram platforms just to be able to connect. But I am a person that I'm very personable. If you reach out to me, whether it's me directly sending the email or the response or whatever the case may be, eventually you are going to be communicating with me, because I'm an energy person. So I want to be able to talk with you. I want to be able to interact with you. And if it's fit, I want to be able to meet you. And so see how we can connect and we could support each other. Again, Stephanie, this has definitely been a pleasure. Thank you for just, connecting with me, seeing me, being so genuine yourself. You have so many amazing things going on. You're a woman on a mission yourself. I love to see it. It's been great chatting with you tonight, using your platform and allowing people to really connect and learn more about Natalie Clark. And so thank you again.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Listen, thank you guys for tuning in tonight to an amazing episode of the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show, where we have had an amazing conversation tonight with Natalie Clark. On next week, it will be my birthday week. So it will be a pre-recorded show on next week, but I will be back the week after that. If you are in the Dallas area, any surrounding cities, this Saturday, at 11 a.m., I will be having my book signing brunch. It is going to be at Zoe and Emma's Cafe in Terrell, Texas. It is for my book, When Loneliness Speaks Louder Than Faith. And listen, I'm going to show the book cover here, When Loneliness Speaks Louder Than Faith. This is for all Christian singles that are in waiting, okay? So listen, make sure to come out this Saturday if you're able to come out, and stay tuned for what else that we'll have going on. Again, thank you so much, Miss Natalie, for being a part of the show tonight. We'll talk again soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Y'all tune in on next week for another amazing episode. Thank you.
When Loneliness Speaks Louder Than Faith by author Stephanie M. Seaton is now available on all major platforms.
When loneliness speaks louder than faith, speak louder. Lord, speak louder. Remind me. This isn't punishment, it's preparation. Remind me, you are my Father, and you love me well. Remind me, you created me. You know every part of me. You know what's best for me. Remind me. To keep my eyes on you. Stay wrapped in a love so true. Remind me. To be patient in faith, because your timing has never failed me. Remind me, oh, I'm already